Thank you everyone for joining us today, Tuesday, July 25th, for a business partner focused What to Expect at ILTACON. Today's webinar will cover a wide variety of topics, from reminders to planning tips to lead retrieval to highlights from the agenda. Stay tuned for the entire webinar so you don't miss key information. If you're not able to stay for the entire webinar, remember it is being recorded and will be posted to the ILTACON informational webinar page in a day or so, along with a copy of the slide deck. If you missed any previous webinars about ordering items or assigning badges, recordings are available for those as well. Today's webinar contains about 30 minutes of prepared information. We'll answer questions posted throughout via the Q&A and chat boxes, and we'll leave plenty of time at the end to be sure all of your questions are answered. With that, I will turn it over to Dawn Hudgens to get us rolling. Dawn?
You've turned off mute. Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. I guess it's right afternoon now. We're going to get going. There's a lot of information in here. I know that Tracy said it was 30 minutes. I'm going to try to hold to that. But these are the people who are participating on this call this morning. It'll be myself, Tracy McRae, which you just heard. Jessica Likens will be here regarding housing. Our ILTACON IT mastermind will be here as well, talking about some new developments that we have. And of course, your wonderful business team, Ashley and Sharon, will be holding down the fort this morning from that group. So because I think I'm funny, the most important things are first, get your badges assigned and finalize your registration, please. The faster you do this, the more accurately you do this, the better experience you're going to have when you arrive on site. There are a few of you who have still not paid your corporate sponsorships. This must be done in order to assign your badges and to complete your registration. You will not be able to do that until that is done. So a few things. July, we have a couple of deadlines coming up. Well, today we have this webinar. It's taking place as we speak. On the 31st, we have our deadline for function space requests. There aren't many spaces left, so if you're thinking about doing that, I would go ahead and get those in as soon as you can. But that final deadline is July 31st. On August 1st, we have our GES discount date deadline. The 12th, registrations will close until we get on site. This allows us to transition some things in the system and to prepare properly for the event. Some tips and tricks. I've been coming to ILTACON now for almost 10 years, and I have equally been on the business partner side as well as the ILTA team side putting this together. So I've seen it from both sides. There are a few things I do want to let you know about or remind you about. No outside food and beverage are allowed in your booth, demo room, or suite. That is a hotel policy. It is not an ILTA policy, so just be aware of that. No helium balloons. You will be assessed a fee if you bring balloons into the event and they get away from you. This year in Orlando, that fee is really not that bad. But next year, when we're at the Gaylord Opryland in Nashville, it will be huge. So just keep that in mind. There will not be any breaking down of your booths in the exhibit hall early. This is for a safety reason. We have had issues in the past where people have been breaking down early and it has hit people coming through the exhibit hall and caused injury. So we do not want any of that. So please make sure that you do not break down early. There is a fine for that. Do not remove furniture from hotel sleeping rooms. There is no MiFi or personal wireless device creators allowed, and no giveaways over $500. It is a good idea to use air tags or tiles if you ship your swag and your luggage. Everyone should have tracking numbers of all the items with descriptions of the contents for the things that you are shipping. Ship to the GES warehouse. Consolidate your shipping, but remember, when consolidating your shipping, if you have a demo room and an exhibit hall booth, those are separate delivery days. So make sure that you put the appropriate items in the appropriate boxes or crates to make sure you have it when you need it. Make sure you label your boxes 1 of 5, 2 of 2, however that works out for you. And then use the correct labels of demo to demo and booth to booth. And also know who your business partner committee contacts are. We have a new group and they want to get to know you and they want to hear what you have to say and get your involvement as well. So we want to make sure that we connect you with those people. Rooms. So you guys are in the process of having been working with your rooms. I just want to bring this up. Please note that a credit card must be presented by each individual to swipe at check-in and cover remaining room, tax, and incidental charges. If you or your members of your team will not have that method of payment that will cover the room expenses with them at check-in, a credit card authorization form must be submitted prior to arrival. So if you are a person who's attending this webinar today that is creating all these things for your team, please take note of this. If you are not that person, make sure that you get with your person if you need to have this credit card authorization form filled out prior to arrival to make sure that you have a smooth transition at the time that you arrive at your property. There will be Exhibit Hall Bingo this year. A link and information has been sent to you guys, and so you'll have all the information that you need for that. Make sure that you have completed the Cognito form and submitted it by August 11th. You can contribute up to 3 prizes, and the cost of each prize cannot exceed $500, and that has everything to do with tax considerations. Business partners will be responsible for ensuring the delivery of the prizes, and stamps will be provided to each business partner participating in the bingo so that you can fill out the bingo cards there in your booth, and winners to be announced throughout the week. I really wanted to sing the INGO song for you guys, but I was told that was a bad idea. So I'm going to go on to the next slide, which is potential UPS strike. This may happen. It may not happen. We don't know. But in the idea of making sure that we are prepared appropriately for ILTACON, please make sure that you watch their website, keep up to date, preparing shipping through alternative means if you need to. We do have GES, but there are some cases where you might need to do some things till 11th hour, which is on property on the 3rd floor of the Dolphin Convention Center. But just keep in mind, UPS has been talking about the strike for a while. I've heard some people who work there have some great concerns this is actually going to happen. So just kind of be prepared in case that it does. A few more items regarding preparation. Planning for ILTACON. If you guys want to have a really successful ILTACON, there are a few things I highly encourage. Know more about what your organization defines as having had a successful ILTACON. What are your goals? Who's your audience? What is your budget? What is your booth plan? Do you know the IAEE booth regulations? That's important so that you don't have the issue of us having to move things out of the aisles or in the sight line, so that we can make sure that we're in compliance with booth regulations. I will state this multiple times to this webinar. Orlando is not like any other property we go to when it comes to fire code issues. These people are very serious about their fire code and has caused lots of no sleep nights and lots of reworking of work already. So we really need you to pay attention to these rules and regulations so that the exhibit hall can open when it is planned to open on Monday evening. Make sure that you have assigned the proper staff to your booth. Make sure you know what you're giving away. Just really make sure that your team has communicated with each other on what their responsibilities are and where people should be, and you've gone through the appropriate regulations to make sure that you can be successful. Take a look to see if you have all of your shipping information, your contact information for all of your booth staff. We at ILTA, we actually have everybody on our team put every single person's phone number in their phone before we leave so that we can have conversations throughout the day individually. And we also have a group chat option for our entire team so that we can communicate with one another as well, just so that we can make sure that we can handle the things that we need to in time. Make sure that the contact information, that you have the contact information for your business partners as well. You're going to want to take a look and check in with them from time to time as well. Do you know what education sessions you'll attend? I hear a lot from business partners saying, I'm here, we're in the exhibit hall, we have a demo room, we have some dinner scheduled, we're not going to the education sessions. Why would that be important? It gives you a topic of conversation to engage with the members right out of the gate. If you go to the keynotes, if you go to the socials, if you go to education sessions, if you go to the education sessions of your customers who are speaking, that goes a long way in building those relationships. So I strongly encourage it. You're welcome to all of them. Make sure that you know about the receptions and where you need to go for those as well. They're open to you with your badge. Make sure that when you are working with your booth and building your booth, that you have planned enough time, either on the front end or during the day. In other words, we have Sunday and Monday that you can build your booth. Make sure you have plenty of time to finish building your booth by 4 p.m. sharp on Monday. The exhibit hall will close at 4 p.m. on Monday, and all booths must be complete at that time. The reason is the fire marshal will come in at that time, as well as hotel staff. Hotel staff will clean things up, put the food out, and get prepared for our opening reception for the exhibit hall that'll be taking place Monday night. But additionally, that fire marshal is going to be walking around making sure that all the IAE booth regulations have been adhered to and that everything is finished. So I just want to make that very clear how important that is. If they have one booth that is not in compliance, they can keep us from opening the exhibit hall. You do not want to be that one exhibitor where that happens. And we have zero control over that. That is completely with the fire marshals at that time. Here are a few other items. As you're planning, going into ILTACON, send out emails to those people that you want to meet up with. Plan ahead a little bit, put some things on the calendars. Get really acclimated to the maps that I'm going to show you here in a few minutes. The restaurants, the bars, the golf cart locations, the reception areas. Make sure you know all where this is so that you can get to places on time. You never want to be late for that meeting, for that new customer that you want to meet with. And you want to make sure that you give yourself plenty of time and have found the best route and can, point people in the direction of a great restaurant to go to or where the restrooms are, those kinds of things. Another thing that I want to make sure that you're aware of is that the golf carts only run from Monday through Thursday. They are not running on Sunday. Booth and demo rooms, your garbage cans, furniture, box pickup, vacuuming, those types of things. If you have not scheduled those already, you need to make sure that you go to your dashboard and the exhibitor dashboard and schedule those items. Every year we have at least 2 or 3 exhibitors or people who are in demo rooms who do not schedule for this, and they're looking for furniture and they're looking for somebody to come pick up their boxes or to vacuum their room at the very last minute. Plan ahead, make sure that you have those things taken care of. I did want to point out that the ILTA and Zero Cocktail and Comedy Lounge that is on Tuesday and Wednesdays afternoons, those are cash bar. That way you can take your prospective client or one of your clients, buy them a drink, have a conversation, sit in our nice lounge, have a laugh, and enjoy the evening and build those relationships. We've talked about programming your numbers into your phone, where to be in your calendar. Don't forget about UPS in case of emergency. I do want you to remember that this is a marathon and not a sprint. Plan accordingly. Just a few things that happen every year. We get to see them all. And I'm just going to share a couple of them with you. If you're not used to eating bacon every day and you start eating bacon every day, that salt is going to attribute to your legs and have issues where you may end up in the emergency room. How do I know this? I've seen it happen. Every year that I have been at ILTACON, someone has gotten and has had an allergic reaction, no more than one, I don't think, but an allergic reaction because they weren't paying attention to something that they were looking to eat as to whether or not it had those contents, or maybe they didn't know that they had an allergy to a food. If that happens, we have people on standby to help you out. Of course, 911 is 911. 911 is always the best course to get immediate assistance. But we do have staff that have been trained, and we also have people throughout the campus that can assist you. So we want to make sure that we are there to help you out. So there's a phone number later on that you can program into your phone that you can always call in case you have an issue. Shoes, please don't wear brand new shoes. That's a really bad idea. You're just going to get blisters and have hurt feet. And we don't want that. So if you have shoes, prove them before you come to ILTACON. Make sure that you bring a couple of pair so that you can swap them out either throughout the day or day over day, because that makes a big difference in how your body feels too. We are in Florida. It is hot. It is humid. Please hydrate. There will be plenty of hydration stations. Make sure you bring your bottle that you can fill up. But because of that, I don't know why this is, but the insides of the building seem to be ridiculously cold with the outside being hot. So make sure you bring some sort of something to put over your arms. Otherwise, you may freeze to death in some of these rooms. Then, of course, you can always go outside and thaw out. Always plan ahead for medications. You know your body better than anybody else. Just plan ahead for that. Sunscreen, sunglasses are always a good idea at this property. So this is a little bit about the campus and the mapping. I chose this picture specifically because this shows the dolphin on your left, the swan on your right, and in the background at about 11 o'clock, you can see the Yacht Convention Center. The ball in the very center at the back is the Epcot ball. Very famous, right? Fireworks will take place right above that ball every single night at 9 p.m. And you can have a beautiful view of the causeway, or if you're lucky enough to have a balcony that faces that, you can see them from there as well. Few pictures of the campus and what it looks like. Is absolutely a gorgeous, gorgeous property. So I know you're going to have a great time. I know some of these areas look familiar to you. So let's take a look at the walking and transportation times. I do want to first start by thanking Elite and Net Documents for sponsoring our golf carts. They will save us a lot of pain, and my feet thank you ahead of time. So thank you very much. You can see here where the golf carts will be located for pickup and drop off. If you go from the Swan to the yacht, you cannot get all the way to the entrance of the yacht. It ends at the end of the bridge. It's not a far walk from there, but I just kind of want you to be aware of that. These are pre-approved routes that we have from the properties, and these are done by their safety teams. So just kind of be aware of that. From the Swan to the Dolphin, you're looking at about a 6-minute walk. From the Swan to the yacht, you're looking at about an 11-minute walk. From the yacht to the Dolphin, it's about another 6-minute walk, and that is a dawn walk. That's a me walk, by the way, in case you didn't remember my name. I don't walk extremely fast. I don't walk extremely slow. It's very standard. But that's a good idea for you if you're planning ahead what that looks like for you. The area coming off the back of the Dolphin, first floor, right outside the exhibit hall, going over to the yacht. Just be careful as you go through there. This is a traffic area that comes in through this way here. And so we want everyone to be safe during this process. So what's in the Dolphin? So on the first floor of the Dolphin, that is the exhibit hall. The exhibit hall has 2 entrances on this level. There is one entrance into the Pacific side and one entrance into the Atlantic side. Some new things that we're doing in this area on Tuesday through Thursday, we will be having our press briefing at the startup stage in the exhibit hall, which is located on the Pacific side. There's also the GES desk, which will be located in Atlantic A, which is what I call the dungeon and have been asked to stop calling it that. But it's a really cool place. And that's where we'll have our lounge, and you guys are going to be thrilled by it because it's going to look amazing. Great place to take your people to hang out, have chats. But that's where the GES desk will be. And we'll also have I think that's supposed to be Click. It is Click, sorry. Click and Visibo booth as well, where if you have questions regarding the app or this newfangled toy that we have that's going to make ILTACON amazing this year, that Ann will talk about a little bit later, those will be located there. On level 3, we have the registration desk, the Ask ILTA counter, the housing counter, the volunteer counter. We have the ILTA main entrance to the Dolphin Convention Center, our demo rooms, and the exhibit hall entrance number 3, which takes you into the Atlantic side of the exhibit hall. So there's 3 entrances numerous exits, but 3 entrances into the exhibit hall only. And why is that? Because we have security stationed at those entrances, and we do not have them stationed at every door. Level 5, you will find the ILTA Cafe. That is Monday through Wednesday. If you have a registration badge for ILTACON, you have access to the ILTA Cafe. So please make sure that you go and spend some time during those hours with your colleagues, with your customers, prospective customers, make new friends, have some good food. We have education rooms on this level. We have the ILTA Hub on this level. We have some business partner company updates, not all of them, but some of them. We have master classes on this area, and we have some affinity receptions that you're going to want to check out on this level as well. So what is at the Yacht Convention Center? Education rooms, orientation for the event, keynote sessions, our annual member meeting and luncheon, the business partner company updates, demo rooms. We will have ILTACON block parties at this location as well, and you are welcome to those, and we encourage you to attend. It'll be a great way to start the week off. We have our press room, we have closing reception, and we have a registration desk there as well. Yes, we have 2 registration desks. Both registration desks will accommodate anyone, whether a business partner or a member, non-member, press, staff. They will accommodate anyone, both of them. One at Yacht outside the Asbury Rotunda, and then one on the Dolphin 3rd floor. What is at the Swan, you ask? We have G100 sessions, G200 sessions. We have corporate day. We have focus groups. We have demo rooms located at the Swan. So please make sure you take time to go there as well. Here is a look at the Dolphin 3rd floor, which is the main convention entry area. When you enter from the lobby here, the registration desk will be here. All these little water droplets are where you can find water stations. Here's the escalators going down into the Atlantic Hall. That is your 3rd entry level into the exhibit hall. All of the green rooms around the perimeter here, those are all demo rooms. You will find the escalators that go up to the 5th floor and down to the 1st floor located on this side, as well as behind the registration desk near the lobby. There's also a set of stairs that you will find right here if you want a little bit more exercise that will take you up to the 5th floor, or up to the 5th floor. I think this one also goes down to the 1st floor. On this level, you will find a set of gender neutral restrooms as well. Moving on to level 5. So the Dolphin 5th floor, we will have the ILTA Cafe in Northern Hemisphere. Here is where the escalators are that you just came up from the 3rd floor, or the stairs from the 3rd floor. The blue is the education rooms. We have some give back stations and some cool information areas located over here in these bump outs. Please come see me over here. Some really cool things going on we would love to have you a part of. The ILTA Hub is located here as well. And down here you will find our gender neutral restrooms. Here's the Dolphin 1st floor in a little bit more detail. This is the full picture of the exhibit hall. This was current as of July 19th, I believe. So you can see what booths have been scarfed up and what's left, which isn't a whole lot. 1, 2, and 3 are the areas that show you where the entrance is into the exhibit hall. To my left down here, you'll see 2 Yacht. This is where you will exit, grab a golf cart, or just walk over to the Yacht location. We have the Goat Lounge located in the Pacific back corner on the right here. We also have a large park located in the very center. We have some games. We have some cool decor. You can come and have a seat, rest, have a conversation. And we have our nooks located here as well. Then we have the startup that's taking place back here. And there's a startup stage here as well. I believe we have a session that you need to attend. You will want to attend on Monday, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. In between Pacific and Atlantic, we have our comedy and cocktail lounge. This will be open all the time. However, our talent for the ILTA and Zero Cocktail and Comedy hour will only be from 5 to 6 on Tuesday and Wednesday. And here, once again, you can find some gender neutral bathrooms. When I point out the gender neutral bathrooms, that does not mean that all bathrooms are gender neutral. There are all types of bathrooms located on every floor, but I am specifically pointing out the ones that are gender neutral so that you know. This is a good look at where, from a different angle of the Yacht Convention Center over here, the Dolphin Convention Center over here, and the Swan Convention Center over here. Now, what is this fourth star on the left? If you happen to have rooms located in the reserve, this is where that is located. This is an old picture, so the reserve is actually not shown, but it is in this area right here where you would take a walk right across here and then on the rest of the way as with everyone else. Okay. Then we have the Yacht Convention Center. You're going to enter either from here, which comes directly from the Dolphin, or from here, either one. It takes you into the Asbury Rotunda. The registration desk and Ask ILTA desk will be right here. All of the blue, you will find our education rooms. All of the green are our demo rooms. We also have the press room located here, our gender neutral restroom here. And in the Grand Harbor Ballroom, this is where we have our keynote sessions. It is where some of our company updates will be. It is also where our Thursday evening reception will be and the annual group meeting. And now moving right along to the Swan. When you enter the Swan has a lot of hotel before you get to the convention center area. But once you do, this is where this will be. You can see where it says to lobby. There's elevators here that'll take you to the second floor. Some of you have demo rooms or hospitality suites up on the second floor. When you come down to the left here, there are several business partner rooms. There's also demo rooms, and there's focus group rooms and the G100, G200, and corporate day sessions that'll be taking place in the Swan Ballroom back here in this area. So just going through the agenda a little bit, this is what Sunday looks like. So noon, you will be able to have demo room setup access beginning at noon on Sunday. From noon to 8:30, registration at the Yacht and the Dolphin will be taking place. Ask ILTA desk will be from noon until 6. The exhibit hall setup will be from noon until 6. The block parties will begin at 4:30 to 5:30 at the Yacht. You'll want to take part in these. These will help get you to meet people at the very beginning of the week, and that will be a great way to start your week off. The ILTACON orientation takes place at 6. You're welcome to attend that as well. At 6:30, we will have a young professional to watch meetup and buddy meetup that'll take place. From 7 to 9, the ILTACON 2023 opening reception will take place on the causeway because we really feel it will not rain between the Dolphin and the Swan. If by chance it happens to rain, then it will be taking place in the Swan, just so that you know. Monday, we will have yoga on the beach at the Dolphin Crest Lake. Registration is from 7 to 8:30. We will have light breakfast bites from 7:30 to 9 outside the Yacht Grand Harbor Ballroom. The Ask ILTA desk, ILTA Hub will be at 8 to 6 during the day. And then something that we've never done before, and we realize it's kind of odd, but it's going to be absolutely fantastic, is having a concert at 8:30 in the morning before opening the session. Legal Bites will take on the stage, and they will be having their concert in the Yacht Grand Harbor Ballroom before the opening session. That will start at 8:30. At 9, we'll have our opening session keynote. From noon to 2, we'll have lunch in the ILTA Cafe on the 5th floor of the Dolphin and Northern Hemisphere. Noon to 4, exhibit hall setup will continue. It is a firm close at 4 p.m. We will ask you to leave, and I hate doing that, but it has to happen. It is a firm close at 4 p.m. and the fire marshal will be doing their walkthrough at that time. At 3 p.m. in the exhibit hall on the Pacific side at the startup stage, we will be going through an exhibitor click training, and you will not want to miss that. It will be standing room only, because now that I'm thinking about this, it's not as big as all of you are on this call. The exhibit hall closes at 4. It will reopen at 6:30 to 7 to allow you guys back in and prepare before the grand opening. From 6 to 7, we have affinity group receptions. And then at 7 o'clock, we will officially open the exhibit hall doors for the ultimate tailgate party in the exhibit hall. On Tuesday, once again, we will be relaxing on the beach, doing some yoga at 6:30 a.m. From 7:30 to 9, we will have breakfast light bites outside the Grand Harbor Ballroom and at the Dolphin. Northern Hemisphere, from 7 to 6:30, registration will be open. From 8 to 6 p.m., the Ask ILTA and ILTA Hub. From 9 to 10, we will have our keynote session taking place. The exhibit hall will open at 10 a.m. and will close at 6 p.m. At 10:15 to 11, we will have a press conference taking place in the startup stage. From 11 to 5, we will have startup stage presentations taking place. From noon to 2, lunch in the ILTA Cafe. And then from 5 to 6, we will have the ILTA and Zero Cocktail and Comedy Lounge taking place. Wednesday is pretty much a duplicate of Tuesday. Thursday, yoga on the beach as well. I did fail to mention that on Wednesday morning at 6:30, we will be having a fun run taking place outside of the Dolphin on the Causeway. So if you want to do a fun run at 6:30 on Wednesday, you can join us out there. On Thursday, 6:30 a.m., yoga on the beach, 7:30 to 9, breakfast once again. Morning is the same. Our ILTA registration desk closes at 12 noon on Thursday. It's open from 7 to 12 on Thursday. Our ILTA desk and ILTA hub will be from 8 to 4, the keynote from 9 to 10:30. The exhibit hall opening will be from 9 to 12 on Thursday. Please do not tear down early. You may begin tearing down the exhibit hall promptly at noon. From noon to 1:30, you will have lunch in the ILTA Cafe on the 5th floor of the Northern Hemisphere. It is for business partners and non-members. The members will be having their annual group meeting in the yacht from noon to 1:30 during that time as well. Only members are allowed in the annual group meeting. From 6:30 until 9 on Thursday, we will close our event with Hot Tropical Nights closing reception, and it is going to be fantastic. Lots planned for that. Here's a quick overview of key things that'll be happening on each day, especially if you want to find some food and beverage. Do want to point out the Goat Lounge on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That is one of my favorite attractions. Once again, 7 to 9, opening reception on the Causeway. This is sponsored by Filevine. Monday morning, 8:30 a.m., Legal Bites will be presenting us a keynote before our keynote session. The opening session takes place. Our keynote for Monday is Sarah Ross, sponsored by iManage. Monday night from 7 to 9, we will have the Ultimate Tailgate Party, sponsored by Kale Discovery, and they will be sponsoring Ken Salaz as well, who is going to be doing some sleight of hand magic during that event. On Tuesday, Ken Salaz, the Mentalist, will be our keynote, and that is sponsored by Upland. On Tuesday and Wednesday in the exhibit hall, ILTA and Zero Cocktail and Comedy Lounge, we have an amazing comedian, Don McMillan. He is an engineer, software engineer. He's been in tech for a long time, and he's funny. So he's going to be joining us in the exhibit hall in Atlantic A, where our cocktail and comedy lounge is. And we will also have our resident comedic musician with us during the week, Dean Marion. On Wednesday, our keynote is Dr. Rob Archer, sponsored by Relativity. I did have the opportunity to listen to him when I was in Europe last year. Fantastic keynote. You're not going to want to miss that. And again, on Wednesday, we have our ILTA and Zero Cocktail and Comedy Lounge again. Thursday, our keynote is sponsored by Thomson Reuters. That is the G100, G200 CIO wrap-up. This is a really hot session. You may want to take some time and stop in for this keynote. And then, of course, our closing reception is from 6:30 to 9 in the Yacht Grand Harbor Ballroom, Hot Tropical Nights. That is going to be a fantastic event. And we have a wonderful band closing us out called Silky Smooth. Here's some things you can expect to find while you are at this event. One of my favorites right here, where they're handing me a drink through the Goat Lounge hedge. Some exercising opportunities. You can have yoga Monday through Thursday out at the Dolphin Lakeside, and then the fun run will take place on Wednesday morning. So what is new and different? We will have the press conference move around this year. That's going to help you guys, and it's going to help the press out a little bit too. We have, yes, it says food for breakfast. I'm whispering for effect. We will have some light bites for breakfast that'll be located Monday through Thursday this week. 2 registration desks for your convenience. All ILTACON registrations come with meals and receptions. The startup stage in the exhibit hall. We have a Nook Park in the exhibit hall. The ILTA and Zero Cocktail and Comedy Lounge, the Goat Lounge. We do have Corporate Day coming back, and it'll be taking place in the Swan. We have shortened exhibit hall hours, 10 to 6 Tuesday and Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 to 12. We will be streaming the annual group meeting, and we will be streaming the keynotes. So take a look in your app when you get on site as to where you can find that. We will have the business partner team meetup, focus group participation for the Reimagine ILTACON campaign that'll be kicking off. The golf carts are back. We have a killer Thursday night end of conference party, hot tropical nights. We have a Wi-Fi lounge. We have Click connecting and lead generation, which you're going to hear about in just a minute. And then we have a give back lounge that'll be taking place on the 5th floor of the Southern Hemisphere in the Dolphin. Now, something that is a little different that we haven't done in the past, but of course, we've never been in multiple properties like this before. So when you go from the Dolphin to the yacht, your Wi-Fi is going to change. If you're connected to the hotel Wi-Fi, if you're at the yacht, you have access throughout. In the Dolphin, you have access to Wi-Fi in the cafes, but we can speak to the fact that your 5G is going to work really well in that hotel as well. Now I am going to turn this over to Ian McCormick, our resident IT genius, to talk to you about this fantastic new thing that we have called that with Bizzabo and Click. Ian.
Oh, wow. No pressure. All right. How's everybody doing today? So next slide. I just want to make sure that I give a little bit of a shout out, first of all, to the groups of people who have really given their insight following the last two ILTACONs. We've really had an opportunity to kind of do a review of the things that are super important to you. And due to that review from the support, we're going to change our goals a little bit towards lead capture. And in order to do that, we found a wonderful provider by the name of Click. Click is going to be our lead generation platform. And we're really excited because the user-friendly interface aligns perfectly with our event objectives, enabling us to enhance attendee engagement, capture more qualified leads, and of course, make this year's event more successful. So let's talk about that, increasing lead generation. With Click, an attendee will simply touch their Click button to the business partner's mobile device, or even their Click themselves. And the lead generation process starts with a fully customizable qualifier form. Let's say you're just having a more organic conversation without the interruption of the mobile app. The attendees can just simply click their buttons together like the animation you saw earlier, and the lead process is started, sending the attendees the initial information. And of course, it'll appear in your Click timeline as you're seeing in front of you. And then you'll be able to rate that as hot, and of course, be able to send a follow-up qualifier for leads, a form, and be able to review those with the entire organization from the platform online as well. Just like attendee to attendee I'm sorry, go back one, sorry. So you will also be able to, from your platform, using our expanded lead generation tools, you'll be able to manage your branding, your leads captured, communication to leads workflow, and then you'll be able to see your actual representative's performance in near real time in the portal, being able to see what type of clicks, what interactions. So that is very useful. The booth admin, of course, can set up the questions for the lead qualifiers. And unlike previous years where you had to set it up using individual device licenses, that is a thing of the past. Once you set up the lead qualifier form, for those of you who remember in 2021, we had this before, you set up a lead qualifier form and all attendee or all sponsored reps will be able to have access to it from the mobile app. Next, thank you. Of course, here's a little bit more. Here's the portal where you'll be able to measure the quantifiable results. You'll be able to see, of course, the names of the attendees who exchange contact info, the engagement levels, lead ratings and notes, and of course, whatever is for those who have opted in for BP communication, you'll be able to receive all of the proper information for communication. One thing we're also very, very proud of to being able to offer this year is increased event support staff to our business partners. Next page. We're really, really excited to be able to offer a group of Bizzabo staff that are going to be on site to be able to support us. So it'll not only be the ILTA staff that we are running around, making sure that we can answer your questions. We will also have an exhibitor lead technician who will be available in the exhibit hall, and they will be available from the middle section, just like when you go to the booth to go visit GEF, Bizzabo will have their own spot as well. You can go up and ask them any questions regarding the tech, the experience, the portal, and any kind of best practices they might be able to offer. And finally, I want to make sure I discuss this concept of continuing the conversation off the exhibit floor. There's something, as a former BP myself, there is something a little bit difficult to having an organic conversation with somebody over a drink, and then all of a sudden pulling out your phone like you're making a Square transaction. I get it. It's very it's very off-putting. It's very obstructive. So why don't we simplify it just a little bit? For those moments when pulling out the mobile app just might not necessarily be the right way, use those click buttons to be able to start the conversation, and then you continue it later, sending data sheets, white papers with that connection that you now have through the mobile app and through your click lead generation. Your click will be able to store up to 70 contacts before needing synchronization with the event campus. So just be mindful of that. You can be off or outside of our conference zone and be able to capture up to 70 contacts. So in summary, here is the actual lead retrieval system. You'll be able to lead score with notes and be able to easily rate your leads and helpful notes to their profiles. You'll also be able to use the click lead scan for a more organic conversation, just a simple lead capture so that you can focus on the quality of the conversation. Exhibitor portal, which will be available to you through the Bizzabo app and through the click portal that will be sent to you. You'll be able to manage all of your branding, leads captured, all of your communication, and be able to see your reps' performance. And then finally, what you have been used to before, if you were a rep from last year, you'll be able to have access to the Bizzabo mobile app. And of course, the Expo FP link, which was added to you actually added to the conversation earlier in chat. Let me go ahead and add it one more time. But you will have two separate company profiles, one that will be available in the mobile app where they can perform a soft lead like require or inquire for more info. And of course, the same thing will be available from the exhibit hall map that will be available to all attendees so they can access more information. So as of right there, you can actually see 5 separate points of contacts, 5 separate points of immersive engagement that you can really start the conversation with. Just like what Dawn said earlier, when you're in your educational sessions, please be involved there. Go ahead and click, share it with your other friends. It's as simple as clicking a button. Now, give you just a little bit of fair information. There will be no cost in 2023. It's pretty important for us to understand how this is going to work. We want to gain valuable insight and feedback from all of you. So if you can help us assess this platform's effectiveness for our future events, I believe that this would be a pretty proper gesture for us to be able to work on this. So if we believe that by harnessing the power of this, we can significantly enhance that attendees' experience, networking opportunities. One license covers your entire team. Last year, we had a lot of what we would call the Kansas City Shuffle, if you will, with some of the licenses, 5 devices per license. Let's not mess with that this year. It's one license for your entire organization. Once you get the information to the actual ILTACON representative, then they'll be able to get it out to the rest of the team. Fully customizable lead gen forms. Last year, we were only able to offer you a Boolean. It was a simple switch in the mobile app, and you had to build a pretty comprehensive Game of Thrones level lead form qualifier to be able to, or entire lead form to be able to get it to be functional. We're trying to make sure that you have available to you multi-inserts, multiple choice, text, video, uploads, all of the things that you're used to seeing from a lead. And of course, it's easy as clicking a button. If you're not worried about the lead gen forms and you want to keep it real simple, go ahead and just leverage the click button. And of course, the timeline and exporting leads, that will all be available from the portal at the events end and from the mobile app. There, of course, was a question about whether or not we're going to be offering any sort of training. And for those of you who have ever worked with us previously, you know that we attempt to create training of our own that has been curated, white labeled, branded, so that it actually makes sense to you. So we will be providing a level of videos and introductions to the platform. Once I get access to everything, I will get those spun around pretty quick. Please understand that if I'm turning them around pretty quick, they're not going to be edited and beautiful. They're just going to be available for you. And of course, please reach out to our support team at any time. Once those videos come out and you might have an additional question, our turnaround for these type of questions is pretty fast. But finally, for the first time ever, we are going to be offering a actual on-site training. That'll be 3 p.m. Monday, August 21st. That will be available in the exhibit hall from the startup stage, which will be at the Pacific Terrace side. If you go down the main escalators from registration, you just simply go as far back as you possibly can until you run into a stage. From there, I will be able to help you. Some of our on-site staff will be able to help you. And of course, our Bizzabo Click reps will be there to be able to help you. We want to make sure that you have a pathway to success that is familiar, comfortable, and accessible to you. So Not only will we have that training, once again, you will also have on-site staff. Feel free to come to us at the ILTA hub or be able to visit the tech representative that is available in the actual exhibit hall during the exhibit hours. If you have any follow-up questions, of course, please ask them in the Q&A or in the chat, and we'll try our best to answer those.
Ian, a common question that has come up, if you could just briefly explain some of the functionality, specifically, are exhibitors able to scan click buttons with their mobile device? And
Correct.
will the stored leads, will those live within Visibo, or will there be a separate app that they need to download to their phone?
Yeah, there will be a separate app that will be needed. That is true. That shows the timeline for the event. Once a click goes through or a lead capture goes through, you will be able to see that in an actual clear timeline. If you don't mind going 5 slides back, 6 slides back. Okay. So what will be available is a timeline. Just go back 4 more if you don't mind. 2, 3, 4. There we go. So once a click comes in, you will see that there is a timeline that'll be available from you either from the portal or from the mobile app that simply says, like in the example given, you clicked with Kimberly Coleman, or you clicked with, it will be available for you to be able to see in the timeline of the entire experience. So that will be available from you in the mobile app once the click occurs. And that's either the scan from the mobile device using your Bluetooth or from the app, or being able to use the click itself. Are the 70 leads off campus limited to the click button? Can we scan more than 70 in the app off campus? You can only use the click button 70 times off campus. However, if you were to include the mobile app, I'm suspecting, and I'll be sure to test this and get information out about it during the training, that you're allowed to do an unlimited amount because you're technically connected to the internet with the mobile. The reason why there's a 70 limit with just the buttons is because you're operating with 2 Bluetooth devices that are just, capturing a number. So there's a space issue.
Hey, Ian, a couple of questions. Just to reiterate, how much are the people having to pay for Click? What form do they have to fill out? And if you could give them a quick reminder of when they might get access.
Sure. The cost of Visibo Click to you this year is, get ready for it, nothing. We are working with the team this year to make sure that we want to get a lot of information and feedback. And we thought that would be a pretty good gesture of appreciation for your support. So it's 0 cost in 2023 while we're trying to give it an opportunity. Access, that is an excellent question. For everyone to really know, I get access myself starting tomorrow. But for any of you who have worked with me before, it takes me about 48 hours and I'll get about 20 training videos out to you pretty quickly. So I'm pretty super excited about it in terms of anybody who's used Visibo previously. This will not be a large training obstacle to you whatsoever. And if it is, then I will send out a nicely chunked set of videos like I did in previous years to show you each function separately. And then I will give tips in each training for a pathway to success for ILTACON. Visibo will also have a campus map. Absolutely, Lisa. We will be getting Visibo available to you approximately 2 weeks before the start of the event. That is so we can make sure that we have all of our speakers in, all of our proper registrations ready so we can present that information to you. The Expo FP link, also known as the exhibit hall map link, that is available and is in the chat previously. If you just look for something that says iltacon2023.expofp.com, you can go ahead and see the floor plan for the exhibit hall as it currently exists. And then, of course, that gives you a great idea of what information you'll need to submit into the BP form. That way we can add to your profile. But that's really it. We're going over on time. I don't want to do that. Thank you, everybody. And if you have any questions, add it to the Q&A.
Thanks, Ian. There will be lots more information coming out about Click. We know that you're hungry for it and there's a lot of questions. So we want to make sure that you're taking care of, and we can't take care of all those questions on this call, but we will make sure that we get them answered and get you completely prepared so that you can be successful at ILTACON 2023. So I do want to point out, if you need to contact someone, whether it's a need, whether you have an issue while you are on site, this number is only good while we are at ILTACON in 2023. Here's a phone number for you to contact for any type of emergency. And I do want to talk just briefly about suitcasing. Of course, if you are on this call and you are a paid business partner and you are exhibiting at this event, we're not talking about you. You are with us in this. But one of the things I do want to point out is that suitcasing not only hurts ILTA, but it also hurts those people who are exhibiting at this event and are sponsors of ours. So whenever you hear about someone suitcasing, if you have information on that, we do ask you to use that number as well and let us know. And then we also have information that we'll be giving you at a later time that'll be in your booths that will have a form that you can send in anonymously if you would like to share that information. When it is available, this will be your QR code. Isn't it cute? For our Bizzabo app. And then we do want to remind you, spreading the word and how important that is. This is a QR code that takes you to our brand hub on the ILTA website. It'll be located under events and ILTACON. In our brand hub, you will find some social media templates. You will see some opportunities where you can plug in your information for I am speaking or I'm attending, I'm exhibiting, and I'll be there. And of course, our hashtag for this year is ILTACON 2023. Please help us and yourselves by pushing the information out there the entire time we're on site, and then again after as well. Looking to the future, 2024 and beyond. This is a list of where ILTACON will be going between 2024 and 2031. Notice that the dates do change and shift a little bit. You guys have been asking for it to be a little earlier. We have been able to do that in most cases. And so next year, it will be basically 2 weeks earlier than this year, the 11th through the 15th of August at the Gaylord Opryland in Nashville, Tennessee. We have already started working on contracts for that. We've got some really cool events coming up. I've even been asked to take the goats to another level and bring them into our yoga. We're actually considering that. It will be a fantastic event as well, but let's take a look at 2023. Have a great time. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to us. And of course, thank you very much for your support, for your engagement, and for the opportunity to partner together with us. You are a very important part of our ILTA sphere, and your thought leadership is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. We do have a few minutes. If anyone has any more questions, we can take a couple as long as they don't involve click, because we'll take that separately.
Thanks, Dawn. That was absolutely fantastic. And I think everybody is rejoicing about those earlier dates. There aren't any unanswered questions or chat threads. Go back to the pretty slide with the QR code for Bizzabo. That it's not going to be active for them yet, but this is going to be the one that you'll be using. Just remember, it's going to be released ready for people beginning around 2 weeks before the event.
Yes. And our QR code for our brand hub is active now. So we encourage you to go to our brand hub and promote your attendance, your company's attendance, whether you're speaking or not, or if somebody in your firm is speaking, that would be fantastic. And I do want to point out something that we will have this year that we've not had in the last several years. And that is, we will have an actual book on site. It's not one of those really expensive conference books that you've seen. It's one that does the job, and it will have maps in there as well as how to get to and from different places, information on if you have accidents or if there's something that happens while you're there. And it'll also have information on the education sessions. I really can't stress enough safety while we're at this property. It's a large property. There's a lot of alcohol flowing. There's escalators, there's stairs, there's ramps, there's golf carts, there's water. Just be safe. Know your body, listen to your body, watch the people that are with you in your organization, make sure that they're taking care of themselves, because we want to make sure that we end this. I have a goal that we have no incidents regarding safety at this ILTACON in 2023. I would love to see that happen where everybody ends up being happy and healthy and safe by the time we have finished this event.
That would be fantastic. Now, just to wrap up, I think one of our favorite parts about ILTACON are the theme nights. Maybe just a quick minute or so explanation of
Sure.
the Monday night and the Thursday night theme notes and ways to maximize those.
Yeah, so Monday night we have the ultimate tailgate party. The exhibit hall will have certain areas that will be decorated like a tailgate. We have bleachers that'll be brought in and all types of seating and some games. We really encourage your team to work together to promote how you're going to look at that event. Make it fun. Make your booth fun. Don't make it loud. Don't bring any games that are really loud, but do make it fun. Dress, in a sports attire. I learned recently that you can tailgate anything. So even if your group's not into sports, they might be into concerts or they might be into something else that I'm not aware of. You can tailgate anything. So make it creative, make it interactive, make it fun, make it inviting, because people will be walking through the exhibit hall and they want to come ask you questions as to what your group is doing or tell you how great that is. And it's a good opportunity for you to start that conversation.
And how about the closing reception, the hot tropical nights? How can they
Closing
take
reception is
advantage of
hot
that
tropical
one?
nights. Yes, please come to this. We have a great multi-piece band that'll be joining us. We have lots of cool lighting, great furniture, some games that'll be taking place. There'll be several bars throughout the room and some food. It is staged to be a great, great closing party. So please take time to do that. It's a great way to wind down with the attendees. They're a whole different group set of people when it comes to Thursday night versus Monday night, more relaxed, and it's a great way to get to know people.
Fantastic. Now, one of the ones that we don't really theme is the Sunday night opening reception. How is that different from the other receptions that you've talked about?
Over the years, we have tried different things. We have had bands. We have had small instrumental groups. We have had single instrumental groups. And what we have heard at every single one is the music is too loud. All we want to do is to spend time chatting with our friends and spending time together. So this year, that's exactly what we've done. On the causeway located between the Dolphin and the Swan, we will have that entire area in there and some spilling over into the Swan area going toward the beaches, where there will be furniture, there will be food. There'll be a great opportunity, excuse me, for you to network with people that you haven't seen since last year. It's just a little bit more relaxed. In a sense, it's a more relaxed environment, but in another sense, it's more energetic because people are so excited to see one another. And it will be hot. Just remember that. Dress accordingly.
Fantastic. Thank you. I think any remaining questions, just reach out to your business partner contact, either Tyler, Sharon, or Ashley, and they'll get you all squared away. This will be recorded, and it is recorded, posted to the website in about a day. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Thank you, Dawn, especially for this amazing explanation. And we'll talk to you all later and look forward to seeing you in less than a month.
Wonderful. Tracy, I do just want to mention that tomorrow we do have the member webinar. You guys are welcome to attend that as well. It doesn't have all the business partner points in it, but it does have a good overview if you just need another overview of the entire event.
That's right. All right. Well, if we don't see you tomorrow, we will see you in Orlando. Thank you, everybody,
All right,
and
thanks,
have a
guys.
great rest of your day. Bye.